Hello! I am back with Stanley Parable. It told me last time to enter my favorite time, so I think what is my favorite time? Probably about 7 p.m. 7 p.m., your favorite time of day? Or could you simply not resist giving me the correct time again? After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. I lied to you this time. What are you watching and waiting, Zoniels? what are we doing? Let's wait, what? Okay, I'm curious how accurate. Oh no. How accurate is 7? It's very inaccurate. It's very, very inaccurate. You know, can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip out a couple new ones. Should be ready by next time you boot up the game. Well, now I'm curious. Now I want to know what they are now. That's fine. Alright, so we did all of the endings for the base game, and now we're going to do the Ultra Deluxe exciting stuff. Maybe.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh, narrator.
All of his co-workers were gone.
He still seems really loud to me. Maybe it's just my game sounds. I'm going to turn him down a little more. Good, that's good.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, I want the new content. Finally, taking the store.
New content? What does that mean, new content?
Wait a minute. I don't know. What does it mean? Okay, let me open these doors now. New content? Not new content.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
I'm not too far behind.
The game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Good.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
I still want to open all the doors. Sorry, narrator.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet.
He's too quiet. I know he's annoying, but he's too quiet.
But I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Oh, does it move? Does the elevator move? Can I go anywhere?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Well, this is exciting. Exciting new content.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if the... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Shouldn't you know what the content is?
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Does that mean I can jump in there? I've been talking about needing to jump this whole time. Heck yeah. I don't want to use all my jumps up. Well, that was fun. I'm saving my jumps. I wish I could jump other places. Oh, man.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Yeah. I wonder why he keeps getting cut off. I don't know why
Another elevator.
he keeps getting cut off.
I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh wait, there's more.
Oh,
Very
okay.
good. Yes, I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
New hallway. I think you're enjoying the new content.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievement, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
It's called X now, narrator.
It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks, just you and me having a great time together like always.
I don't want to reset
What do you
again.
say, friend?
We are not friends. No! I didn't want to do that. It's very rude. Oh no, this isn't right. I forgot to put a ceiling in here. I guess we're going up the stairs then. Oh man, this is what I'm used to seeing. That's cool. That's clever.
Psst. Stanley, come over here.
It's crouched
In
now.
the vent. I want to show you something.
Sure. Down here? Okay. Good. Why is it taking so long to load now? I have an idea. Hold on. Let me fix something really quick. Okay, that should do it. I hope. See where we're going.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Ooh, this is pretty.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
That's cool. How fun.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched?
Can't say I do.
Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something.
The Last of Us. They covered up The Last of Us and put that on there. That's funny. Good times. Oh, 2013 because this year came out. Well, Steam was... I didn't know if Steam was around back then. Nice. It's still kind of laggy, but that's okay. It's okay. Let's see what we can find in here. That's really cool. I don't think people released magazine articles about it, but you know, if you think so. It's so different from what it normally feels like.
Reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all.
Nah, nothing.
It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Just an hour? Memory maintenance zone. I want to go in there. I want to go there. I'm always trying to break the game. Let's see. I feel like by now they know all the breaks though, and they fixed it. What's this?
Here's another moving passage,
Oh.
this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories. These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back to have
Serious
it all
room?
over again.
You can open that door and not let me in it. Oh. Wait, that's where I came from. Alright. Can I get in there? Is there a way to get in there? There's gotta be a way, right? Just want the jump button to work again. I like the jump button. Ah, you open the maintenance zone
Wait.
up. Cool.
Hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
We're gonna find out, aren't we? Oh.
Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Probably not. I'm gonna go ahead and guess no. Aw,
Honestly,
fuck
I could not
Livia.
bother to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the
Page
Stanley
pages.
Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
I agree with them. You're a little, or you're not, you're funny. You can be funny, but you're a little annoying. But all these not recommended. Oh man. I'm pretty sure the reviews in this game are overwhelmingly positive, if I remember correctly.
Okay, let's see what this one says.
Oh.
While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
No.
You can tell me
Oh.
if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
Not at all.
This is actually quite shocking for me.
You're not preachy in the
I always-
slightest.
well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I was certain it did, but maybe it wasn't. Yeah. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Oh, narrator, you can't please everybody. You can't.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's
What's
happening.
up, Andrew? How are you
There
doing?
was a skip button.
Oh yeah, I wish there was a skip button too.
Well, yes.
I swim.
Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Good. I don't want to
And
skip your
here it
talking
is.
forever.
Go ahead.
Quiet.
Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it,
All right.
I'd say it was
Shush.
perhaps less of a rumination.
Shush.
Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless
Ready to
display
press
of
again.
self-absorption- Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer
My door's
and longer.
gone.
That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're...
Really don't want to hear what you have to say.
Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh my
I have my door
goodness.
back.
I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here.
They let you skip the narrator, but the narrator just stays here.
That's just...
Can we change his voice to like Australian or something? That'd be great.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only...
Oh. He's gone. Kind of nice. Alright, well, nothing to do but skip. Hello? That's really annoying. If I just skip, it'll go away.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down
talking
review
to?
and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an
He's only going as
uncompromising
crazy as
heart
he's made
the
me go
words
this whole
that they're
time.
speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of our... But of course, absolutely
wanna know who he's talking
anyone
to.
can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to
Himself?
nothing. We get a world where someone
I'm
will
not
say,
bullying
"Oh,
him.
there
He
should be a
okay.
skip
I have been
button.
bullying
You
him a
should be
lot,
able to
actually.
freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable.
I can't anymore. My tree died. What happens when you don't water it?
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
It's scarier than some horror games I've played. Oh no. I hear water dripping from somewhere. Do we have a leak? Can I still crouch? I can. Oh yeah, water's dripping, see? That's probably fine. It's probably fine. Oh. It's probably fine, right? Everything's good. It's fine. Nothing's wrong. Oh, can we get out? Okay. Freedom. Bully Andrew instead. Oh, Andrew doesn't need us to bully him. He bullies himself. Look how luscious this is. It's grown up nicely. Oh, well, that's good. I don't know how long they can go on with this. I want to go. I want to get out of here. Oh. Oh, look a way out. Oh, this is nice. This beats the narrator. Oh, can I press the button again? I was just gonna run away. I can't press it. I'm stuck here. I didn't break it. It broke me. Well, new content, huh?
All of his co-workers were gone.
And he's
What
still
could it
here.
mean?
He's still
Stanley
here.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Stanley decided to go to new content again. Oh, new content. No way.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
28 endings left. Yeah, there's a lot. See, Andrew, you told me there was 19, and I was like, okay, that's great. But there's 19 in the base game, and I didn't realize that meant there was another 29 in the other one. Yeah, it's really cool how the game changes every time you finish it. Until you're like right at the end trying to figure out which endings you have left, and it's like, I don't know which one it is. All right, what are we doing now, narrator?
You see, Stanley,
I can't believe I've never played this before. I've heard about it, but
roundly disappointing
it's awesome.
Deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Ultra Mega Deluxe?
I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, look!
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Esther Showcase. Taste the sequel. Taste the rainbow.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising
the two doors.
potential.
Oh, I like that one with the two little lines in it. That one looks good. More the Stanley Parable, better the Stanley Parable. The color red. bed. Yes, that is important.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Yeah, they did a lot of work into this. Like, beating it 2. Like, that's just funny. Like, all the different, it's like stuff, even just stuff sitting on the desk or stuff sitting on the boards. Like, small things that grab the ultimate sequel. I can still crouch. It's crazy. Like, look, there's a arrow pointing on that cup. That's just little things that a lot of people probably don't even notice. I'm probably missing a lot of it too, but see, like, I don't know. That's a lot. Alright, this way to the show floor. Let's go. New content bus. Alright, let's go, let's go. I'm just lollygagging now. Looking around at nothingness. Ooh.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Hold on one second. Okay. Hear your name in the game. In here?
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really
Oh,
want?
hi.
And of course, the first and
Ogre.
most obvious answer is that they want to be
Good to know you're alive.
individually recognized and validated
No
as
worries.
people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
I would probably poop my pants, but it actually says my name.
Jim.
Sorry, I
So
should
close.
have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you roleplay as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory.
My bad,
If you
my
don't
bad, my bad.
properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine yourself driving...
Jim.
All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here.
Okay.
I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Well, I thought it was great, narrator. You did a great job on that one. But you could probably try a little harder.
Maybe I'll only let
You heard
people
Jim in the
named
game.
Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here. An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley?
It would.
Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Reassurance bucket? What's that? I want the reassurance bucket. Wait a minute. I feel like I'm not going the right way. Reassurance bucket? Taste the sequel.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley,
Bucket.
anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution.
Give me the bucket.
Give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
I like
think
it.
that just holding it has
My
made
favorite
you
thing in the world
slightest
is
bit
bucket.
more attractive as a person.
Thanks.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Well, excuse me. Yawning. Now I have a bucket. I don't know what to do with it, but I have a bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
No screenshots. Interesting. I do want to go up here, though, now. I want to see what's up here. With my bucket. I love this bucket. This is so cool. It's so cool to have a bucket. Give me a hole. What is this? Settings World Champion? Oh, I can't go in. Why not? Wait. Is there something in the settings? Alright, hold on 1 minute, guys. I'll be right back. So I buy that. Someone lost their Paw Patrol stuff. What does it mean? Settings world champ. Can you play with all the settings?
A man named Stanley.
I don't know. Simplified controls. No. I don't know. I don't have a controller. Does he talk in a different language if you have it in a different language?
This is the story of a man.
No, he doesn't. Well, you're a little late there, Stream Elements. I don't know. I don't want to delete any of that. Okay. I'll figure it out eventually. Somebody else probably knows the answer. Alright, let's go to the infinite hole. Ooh, what's this? No screenshots. I'm gonna take a screenshot.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration.
We can decorate?
But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
12th birthday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
You're rude. You're so rude.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Oh, we're back in here. How did that happen? Oh, I've already been in there. That's how that happened. Okay. Collectibles? There's so much new content. The jump circle.
You know what, Stanley? I actually think the jump circle was a pretty good idea. I'd like to hang on to that for the sequel.
Okay, that's fine. I'll leave it there. Now the infinite hole, it won't end. Come on, Bucket. Let's go to the infinite hole. Together. Okay. I'm nervous about this infinite hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Okay.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole...
Andrew. Lethal Company, yeah. Oh, man. We've all fallen down those holes in Lethal Company, though.
I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the...
It would be a good drinking game. It'd be a dangerous drinking game. See if I've got 28 endings left. I don't know how fast I can get through all those, but we would all be gone by the end of it.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole?
Certain death, yeah.
It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that...
Does this hole actually end? I'm going to keep going. I'm going to wait till he stops talking.
Infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical.
She can't hear me, so call her.
Oh. Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling.
Feisty and spicy.
What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely?
Me?
I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
I
Why
haven't said
don't we
anything.
just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll
I
just be
honestly,
up here when
I
you're
don't
ready.
remember what the Okay.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you. Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes.
You can ruin
too
my
much.
wholesome stream. I want the tea.
A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the
I'm
end
just
of
falling down a
time.
hole. I got
Don't
plenty of
need to
time.
see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of...
Is it about how you don't get flowers in the office?
Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Just the two of us. Look, there's lyrics in here.
Had enough?
I didn't say
I'm
anything
positively
about
thrilled.
anyone needing flowers in the
I
office.
really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole.
Of course I am.
This starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay.
I didn't snitch. I said, is it about that? I
I'm
asked.
extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily
See, look,
less
it would've
and
popped up
less
anyway.
infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole.
Ooh.
Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
That ring is so pretty, though.
Well, there it is.
Sydney?
The shame of my... How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
See, honestly, the reason I'm so obsessed with holes is because it reminds me of my bucket. Oh, no.
Is the, teleport button not working? You sure?
100 roses?
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You
Not for
get to
me.
be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Is that all I had to do to get rid? I will hand pick 100 roses for you. Of course I would. I know you can't hear me, so yes. Yes. He just left me here, by the way. Well, not if you wear gloves, Andrew. Yeah. Can I? I'm really not. Do I have to reset? Oh, the hole's dropping. Going down. Look, Havoker, could you even walk through a rose garden right now? How's your back? Like, look, I'm going somewhere. Oh, change my perspective. What? Look at Stanley in all his glory. Wow, I love this. What? But my bucket. I've got my bucket still. Wait, I can go. What does G do? My perception. I don't know. That makes it sound really scary. That's good. My reality? Oh no. Oh no. Oh, puppies! Okay, I hate on this sometimes, but this game is great. Change yourself? Yes! I need a better look at him. Excuse me, Stanley? Are you okay? Stanley? Oh, good lord. I want to change my reality again.
Stanley?
Ooh.
Stanley?
I'm busy.
Stanley!
Hey!
Good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there.
I was
Drifting away
enjoying
to
that.
dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley. Because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it.
That was
You
so
don't
cool.
want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Now what? What did you do to me? Am I starting over again? Because I got in the hole?
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
What happens if I go back to the hole? Guess I probably shouldn't, right? I should probably progress the story along. Whatever story this is. Andrew, did it bleep out your cursing on Twitch? I should probably go back to the hole then. I'm just wondering for... No, okay. I was hoping, I was making sure it didn't, because it's fine. I just wanted to make sure. Because Sydney got in trouble for yelling. Like, Twitch banned her for a minute. Or Stream Elements did. Oh yeah, they won't let me go back to the hole. I know, but Steam Elements, or Stream Elements, whatever I use. No, I don't care. I mean, how dare you, Andrew? I forgot we have to bully Andrew. Oh, I'm sorry you're gonna get banned, Andrew. I gave him power and it probably wasn't a good idea. See, free, new, and easy achievements. I can't believe it's that simple. Let's go there. I want to go back to the hole. Free achievement. Get yours right now. Pull the lever, receive achievement, no more steps. Cool, cool, cool.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever...
Well, I have my achievements off, so...
The achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
There's gotta be a way to get this achievement. Not that I care about achievements, I just... Oh, alright, fine. How do I get this achievement? How do I do it? This can't just be it, like... Normally there's something else you can do with it. Huh. Alright, I guess maybe it's it. Maybe that's it, maybe that's it. Oh, you can hear me now, good. It's good to hear. Because I love you.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
We haven't seen this. Why are you angry, However?
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable,
Can't find the 100
you'll
roses.
run
Oh.
around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be
Is there no rose
reward
gardens
for
around you?
collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Ooh. 1 out of 6. That's really exciting. I'm gonna collect them all. Okay, there's something else in there. It makes my bucket disappear, so I'm sad. What else? What else is there to do?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
I guess I'm leaving. I guess I'm done with the circles and whatnot and jumping and $200
Right.
for roses
that
are gonna die in like a week.
Now?
I mean, to each their own, but it's crazy.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come
I mean,
together
Sydney's worth
as
it, though.
one single coherent video
Sydney's
game.
totally worth it. She
I
needs
can
it.
feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. Well,
That's 2 doors.
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect.
Insert tastefully.
With care
With
for
respect.
the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up.
What does the word parable mean?
All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Ooh. Hold on. I gotta see what parable means. Parable. It is simple story used to illustrate a moral or spiritual lesson as told by Jesus in the Gospels. Yeah, oh, moral story. Interesting. Any new settings? Because I'm really can. There's, oh, suicide trauma, yeah. I was like, where is there suicide and trauma in this? But then I remembered that there is suicide. I haven't seen the trauma yet, but I've seen the suicide. Okay. Oh yeah, we got new office decorations, I forgot.
Co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, we're back to the same old. My bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Look at the office decorations, though. They're nice. Get well someday. Is there even a moral to this story? Oh, my new content's gone. I have a bucket. Does that change
Stanley
anything?
clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Sure. Let's do what you say.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
They
Perhaps
unblocked
his
the broom
boss's
closet.
office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
No.
You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day.
Not
This
taking my
broom
bucket.
Closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
I'm not.
I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over.
These are so cold.
We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over
My
the
bucket.
Stanley, I never liked this broom
a
closet for
blanket.
a variety of reasons. But
Need
even
a
this is
blanket.
worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of
He's still
experiences
talking.
you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years.
You know, without this bucket, I'd be
Let him
nobody.
have it.
Don't take my bucket. It's very rude. You dirty, nasty, stinky broom closet. I mean, yeah.
Okay,
It's-
I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here
What?
we go. There.
I got a
Now it's
sticker.
settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Is that it? Is that all that's going on here?
All right, I've got a second sticker back
Oh.
here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That
It's like putting a
way, if
picture of
you're
a car
ever
on a
unsure
car.
whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, "Ah, it's a bucket." There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
They are nice stickers. I like those stickers. Some nice stickers.
You
That-
know what?
that all-
I could
Oh.
take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with but now, the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
You know, all of these ways I could have gotten rid of the narrator. I never knew them. Going in a hole, hanging out with my bucket in a broom closet. Bucket on a bucket's kind of like meta, but also like bucketception. They should have put the bucket in the bucket. I guess I should leave, huh? Oh, but it's so quiet. It's so nice when he's not talking to me. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's go, I guess. Now to my
Coming to
boss's
staircase,
office.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Go back to the bathroom now. Oh, sorry. With my bucket. Oh, it's a collectible!
One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, No
Bug
reward for
inception.
collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done.
Yeah, well, I did
You
it.
can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Well, that was exciting. Oh, man. What am I doing then? I still have the code written down. Or was it? Oh, no, I lost
his
it.
manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley
forgot the
may have
code.
broken down into an emotional
2148
dumpster fire,
maybe?
if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
I was kind of there. You hear about my kinship to the
But Stanley
bucket?
guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Why is the narrator so obsessed with me and my bucket now? Ooh.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes,
Stanlerines.
I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Look at all the Stanlerines. Stanlerine party. I wonder if I lower my settings if it'll stop doing that little glitchy thing. It's really funny. If he wasn't so annoying, it'd be funnier. No, I think his annoyingness adds onto it all.
To keep himself together, if not for the bucket, soothing him, comforting him,
I love this bucket.
reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
I don't know what I would do without this bucket. I feel like I've grown so attached to this
Stanley and the
bucket.
bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
I kind of want to take the bucket to the Chompy Chomp. Remember that thing that was like...
Although this passageway had the word escape.
I want to take it there. Oh yeah, I wanted to... Hold on. Or put it down to medium. I'll stop doing that
this hall, Stanley
weird
and the
glitch
bucket
thing.
would both meet a violent death.
Stanley and the bucket? So he's talking about the bucket, so maybe there's something
The
different
door
over here.
behind them was not shut.
No, it's still doing that. So I might as well have it high. What is anti-aliasing?
Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Good. We're ready. We've accepted our fate. Me and the bucket, we're ready. What's that in front of us?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as
You
Stanley
again.
and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
But I wasn't crushed.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Where'd it go? I just lost the bucket and I didn't die? The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the... Wow. Oh. Okay. Oh, we're really excited about this bucket. Can I get it back? I missed the bucket.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Oh, no, it'll come back. It's going to heaven. Look. Oh, look, that bucket has 2 handles. That's a superior bucket. That's only 25 buckets. The greatest number of buckets ever captured on a camera. I feel like that's a lot more than 20 buckets. Can I take this bucket? Replica of the Inferno bucket. Alright, well, that's enough of that.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Hey, there's the bucket. Relationship between the bucket and humanity, however, clear our grasp of the bucket may be, there is yet more than always out of reach. This distance inevitably is for our own good. Give me the bucket! Oh, I didn't... Thought I would fall down. Got my bucket back.
There is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
Oh, we're still gonna die again.
Stanley, let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision for...
I know it's just a game, but it still scares me. I don't like it. Well, there went my bucket. Oh look, there's a figurine finders committee meeting today in the meeting room. They're called Stanley.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
So is this new content just like everything that I already did last time, just with the bucket? Oh god. Inside of a sequel exhibit, I found that. A large room, lots of boxes, stairs, something to do with stairs, somewhere with both red and blue. Hey, that's the doorway in, when I go into the end area. I know where that is. Gotta collect them all. Yeah. There will be a reward for finding them all. Stop kidding yourselves. I want them so much. I want to go home. Okay, well. Anyway, what is that? Good luck. You're welcome. Wait. Trust the completionist instinct, right? Okay. Well, I'm going this way then.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no stickers.
No stickers? Come on, bro. Just want one more. A nice blue sticker would look good. Blue.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
You can do that, and this time I'll actually do what I'm supposed to do. 2845.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover
Oops.
not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
We won't die this time. We won't kill the bucket. We'll do what we're supposed to do and not kill buckets, because that's not nice to do, actually. Oh, I'm so sorry, huh?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I don't know, man. I just come here. Press buttons.
The
Mess stuff
monitors
up.
jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
No, I didn't.
Everyone
I would
in the
never.
office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley grabbed it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Everything's fine. Bucket. Don't want my bucket to cry.
Was
I
the
love my
bucket under
bucket.
the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Well, at least I can trust somebody.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content.
It's not here.
Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
I'm starting to realize I don't mind the narrator's voice so much when he's talking about my bucket.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
Probably not.
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth.
Well, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? To sneeze in every country on Earth?
Any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support.
Oh no.
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped?
Excuse me.
Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room. lingering
I'll throw you
in
over.
uncertainty.
Eh.
Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part.
This is my bucket. Should have tossed it out the door while I could.
Stanley can't leave this place, not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms, not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room, but at least he has the bucket.
It's
To
very
be trapped
true.
eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
So I wonder what counts as endings in these. Because if everything kind of does, I've done 4
All of his co-workers were gone.
more.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go
Think.
to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
We'll go back
Stanley
and say no to the
pushed
mind
bucket
control
tightly to
device
his
or yes
chest
or whatever and let it
until
control
the
us
door
longer.
was left.
We'll go back and do it again. Do it again. Then we gotta keep an eye out for these Stanley rings.
Stanley, we must move on from this broom
okay.
closet.
The same thing
simply
again.
because I have no
I had to
remaining
check.
stickers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
There we go. Can I still crouch? Oh, I can. That was a nice round.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any
3, 4,
human
5.
life. Crushed by the weight of this
2, 8, 4,
revelation,
5.
but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it the bucket knew all along?
Yes,
Was
yes, the bucket's button.
guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
I don't know about the most logical, but it works, man, it works. My hands are so cold.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Yeah, we did.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What
if I kill
horrible
myself with the
secret
bucket?
did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I can't get up there. I can't get up there. I want to kill myself with the bucket.
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next? Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really
Look.
wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold
How do we
perhaps.
get a couch down here?
After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis. But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning. It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake.
Where's Stanley?
I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was inconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually. It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
Well, I'm fine with that ending. Hello? Hello? I'm trying to answer you. Is it this one?
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Well, that was interesting. Oh, bucket.
Warmth spread.
Let's do one more, and then I'm gonna head out. I have to adult for the rest of the day.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Yes, I know, I know. I just want to go and not turn off the... Anything new in here? I missed the broom closet. Okay.
Closet, simply because I have no remaining... Coming to a staircase,
Sorry, I'm
Stanley and the
sorry.
bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office,
I don't
Stanley
know why I
was
can't
once
remember
again
this code.
stunned
I have to look
to
every
discover
time.
not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Bucket is what? Let's go.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Crouched.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I think I just got a package. Apparently.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
I never
Everyone
dropped the
in
bucket.
the office was being videotaped, monitored
Never
like
drop
guinea
it.
pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Okay, come on, Bucket. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be great. We're gonna just stay mind controlled forever so we can live in this place forever and ever
Was the
together.
bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
All right, narrator,
happy
close your mouth.
or
I'm gonna
sad
go
or content. Walking,
fight the system
eating,
again.
working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Oh no, it's turned on. Oh man, I pressed the wrong button. No. I did this already.
Stanley
Did that one already. I'm gonna go back through and finish it. I was sidetracked.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Is there a
Stanley
printer that's
decided
just
to go to the
printing?
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hold on. Okay, it's all kinds of different stuff. It's not one particular thing.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his
That's
left.
weird. That was very weird. I guess it's not really that weird. Anything in this game is not really all that weird. I'll find you guys eventually. They should put one in the broom closet.
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it the bucket knew all along? Was
Yes,
the
the
bucket?
bucket. The bucket.
This is certainly the most logical explanation.
The end is never the end, is never the end. The puppies.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Nice. Don't mess it up this time, Rhea.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
All the secrets.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had
Yes,
the bucket
yes.
been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket
Does
want
say
to do
infinite? I wish I could
or not
zoom.
want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the
An
bucket.
employee's
He couldn't
259's
accept
desk.
it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point,
I love
he
you,
could
bucket.
trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machine... But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the
The
controls.
bucket did it.
Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds.
Oh.
Silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Well, which one do I pick? I want the bird. I want this one. Oh, it switches the birds?
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery.
These silly birds.
Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best.
Yeah.
And Stanley was happy.
Stanley's happy. He gets to look at birds all day. Look at the birds. They're so silly. Well, that's going to be it. I'm going to go adult. What was all those papers on the floor? Oh, goodness gracious. I don't know what that was about. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Thank you for everyone that came in and hung out during the stream. But, adios. This is adulting. No. All the sense. That's okay. I will be back next Tuesday. We seem to have like 20 more endings to go, so I can probably get a couple more streams out of this game. Or maybe we can get a group together to play Lethal Company. That would be fun. Anyway, bye guys. I will see you next time. Bye.